A very good morning to all. Today we are going to learn about the Computer and Art Journal of India, which is one of the most important organization which deals with the audit, accounting uh, in behalf of the government of India. Is it right? Uh, we have been discussing from last 2 weeks and 2 weeks. That is the financial administration importance, scope, and functions, and many organizations. What are the organizations involved in that financial administration in India? Particularly, we are giving emphasis on budget and budgetary principles. What are the types of the budget and all these things? And yesterday we have completed that is parliamentary committees to control over the finance to the legislature. That is, one is a public accounts committee, another is estimates committee, and the third one is committee on public undertakings. Along with these aspects, along with these things, we have to discuss the most important organization or agency. One of the agency is the Computer and Data Chapter, and which is not only for the academics and as well as the competitive exams, Indian quality, and many fields. It has importance. It is so that from this session we are going to learn about and we are going to discuss about what are the issues related and what are the aspects we have to understand regarding the computer and item journal. Is it right? First, the computer and item journal is a constitutional body. Remember it. It is a constitutional body. Article 148. Article 148 provides for an independent office for the controller. Is it right? Controller. Earlier, we have been discussing that parliamentary committees, those are not constitutional bodies. Those are all not constitutional bodies. It's it's created and established through the legislature only. Whereas the Comptroller Alter Journal is a constitutional body according to the Article 148, and at the same time it is an independent office. If it is an independent office, that means there is no political interference, and at the same time there is no, it's not working under the any government. That means central government or state government or union territory bodies. It has, its nature has an independent body. It can act and it can take the decision independently. No one interfere or no one authorized, no one having power on that control and general. It is an independent body. Remember it, that article is 148. 148 article. And he's the head of the constitution audit the in head of the Indian audit and accounts department. He is or she is head of the Indian Audit and Accounts Department. Accounts Department. The CAG is appointed by the President of India by warrant under his hand and seal. The Computer and Art of India, Computer and Art General of India, as appointed by the President of India. Is it right? The remaining things, that PAT, estimations committee, and a committee on public understanding. These all are chairmen or chairpersons as appointed by the speaker among the representative of the or members of that committee. But whereas the Computer and Auditor General independent body or independent officer. He is appointed by the President of India by warrant under his hand and seal with the signature of the and seal of the president. Is it right? He holds the office for a period of 6 years. He holds the office for a period of the 6 years, and at the same time, up to the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Remember, this point is very important. Very important. He holds the office for a period of 6 years. 6 years and 6 years and or up to at the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. That means one alter general, composer and alter general has appointed at the age of 60 years. At the age of 60 years, he may continue in office up to 65 years. That means only 3 years term. 3 years term. At the age of 64 years, he may appointed in the office of the Comptroller and General. His service may is at 2 years. That means whatever the whichever is the earlier, maybe 6 years of the tenure, maybe he is appointed when the time of 55 years. That means up to 61 years, the complete term, 6 years, he may continue in the office. That is the difference. That is the logic we need to know it. Is it right? That is, he holds office for a period of 6 years or up to the age of 65 years, which is earlier. That is it right? See, the Article 148 provides the Comptroller and Auditor General for the India, and he is the head of the Indian Audit and Accounts Department. He is appointed by the President of India for the 6 years term or up to the age of the 65 years, whichever is a earlier. That is a brief introduction about the Comptroller and Auditor General. The next thing is he can resign anytime for his office by addressing the resignation letter to the president. Even though his tenure in the 6 years, if he may not satisfy with the duties or any personal reason, he may leave at any time from his office with by addressing the resignation letters to the president. That is, and at the same time, he can also removed by the president on the same grounds in the same manner of as a judge of the Supreme Court. Whatever the procedures and methods are we are following to remove the Supreme Court judge, it is applicable to the Comptroller and Auditor General also. He, he can also be removed by the president on the same grounds in the same manner as a judge of the Supreme Court. Is it right? In other words, he can removed by the president on the basis of a resolution passed to the effect by the both houses of parliament with a special majority. Remember that word. To remove that Comptroller and Auditor General, the special majority is required in a parliament. in a parliament, in a both houses, not in a one house. In a both houses, we need to get a special majority to remove the comptroller and auditor general. Then what is the allegations? On which allegations we can remove him? Either on the grounds of provide misbehavior in his office, or misbehavior with the other institutions, we may remove him. And at the same time, another reason also is there, that is incapacity. That means he is not capable to deliver his functions or perform his duties. On these grounds, we can remove the computer auditor general with the special majority of the both the houses, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. And at the same time, the administrative expenses of the office of CAM includes all salaries and allowances and pension charged from the consolidated fund of India. Thus, they are not subject to the vote of parliament. Yesterday, we learned, we have discussed this point. There is no vote of grants in a financial annual statement, that is consolidated fund of India. So his salaries, administrative expenses, and allowance and pension, these all things we can meet we can meet from the consolidated fund of India. Consolidated fund of India, that is. And we will see what are the duties and the powers of the comptroller and auditor general. Is it right? Just we'll go with the power duties and the powers of the comptroller and auditor general. The Constitution of India, through the Article 149, authorized the Parliament to preside the duties and the powers of the CAG in relation to the accounts of the Union, state, and any other body or any authority organization. Is it right? The Constitution gave powers or authorized it's to Parliament. It's all right. It's a powers through the Article 149 relation to the accounts of the Union government and state government, and of any other authority or body. Any other authority or body. Is it right? That is. And he audits the accounts related to the expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India, center, state, and union territories. He audits the accounts related to the all expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India, and center, state, and union territory. You have union territories. That accounts also he audits. And he audits all the expenditure from the Contingency Fund of India and the Public Account of India, state also. Is it right? That means totally whatever the official accounts, either it is a consolidated fund or contingency fund of India, and public accounts, really public account of India, and at the same time center, state, union territory. These are all official accounts. Is audit. Is audit. Is it right? That is another audit. And he audited all the trading, manufacturing, profit and loss accounts, balance sheets, and other subsidiary accounts kept by the any department of the central and state government. Is it right? Not only contingency and the consolidated fund and the public accounts of India, but also he audits all the trading, manufacturing, profit and loss accounts, balance sheet, and other subsidiary accounts kept by any department of the central and the state governments. Any department of the central and state governments has the authority to audit it. And at the same time, he audit all the transactions of the central and state governments, related to the debt, sinkings, sinkings, funds, and deposits. That means whatever the borrowings we are getting from borrowings from the other institutions, that means maybe national institutions or international institutions, that is also thinking of the funds and the deposits. These all things is audit, and he audit the accounts of any authority when requested by the president or governor governor. Remember, here here any state government governor or any state government request to the Comptroller and Auditor General to audit the accounts of the particular departments or any organization. He may audit that accounts also. Example, through the 73rd and 74th Amendment Act, we have created Panchayati Raj system in rural areas, and we have created municipal corporations, municipality at the urban level. So by the request of the governor or by the request of the state government, he can examine or he can audit the local body accounts also. That means there is a power or there is interference of the Comptroller Auditor General in local governments or local bodies also, by the request of the state government or governors. And at the same time, any administrative or accounts offices related to center, by the request of the president, he may audit he may audit. That is also another power. And he advised the president with regarding to the presentations of the form which the accounts of the center and the state shall be kept. That means he can advise to the president. He can advise to the president regarding the prescription of the which the accounts of the center and the state shall be kept. That is according to the Article 150. And he submit his audit reports. He submits his audit reports related to the accounts of the center to the president and state to the governor. That means yesterday we learned that is public accounts committee can't having a role to prepare the three types of annual reports, that all the reports to present before the legislature he submitted to the president of India. He is submitted to the president of India. And at the same time, it is related to the state government. He may submit to the state or governor or governor. He can compiles the maintains the accounts of the state governments also, and he act as a guide, friend, and philosopher for the public accounts committee of the parliament. Because whatever the public accounts committee, if you remember, can you tell anyone how many members are there in public accounts committee? Anyone? Public accounts committee members, because he is a friend and philosopher and guide for that public accounts committee. Anyone having an idea on that? How many members are there in public accounts committee? Pack. it is not possible to speak or to tell through the voice, you can chant it here, no problem. Is it right? He act as a guide, friend, philosopher of the public accounts committee. That is, and what is the role of the car? What is the role of the car? These all are the powers, or these all are the functions. These all are the powers and functions he may deliver. He may deliver. And what is the role? CAG is CAG is to uphold the Constitution of India and the laws of a parliament in the field of financial administration. Whatever the laws of a parliament or constitution of India provides regarding or related to financial administration, he can, that means CAG is uphold that all the duties, and at the same time, the accountability of the executive, that means the council of minister to the parliament in a sphere of financial administration is secured through audit reports of the that means maybe excess amount they are spending executive department or someone while they are implementing the budget or distributing the funds, these all things. So it can take it can take and it can examine, it can secure all the accounts all the accounts of the center and the state governments, central and state government, audit report to the COG, audit the reports to the COG. And COG is an agent of the parliament and conducts audit of the expenditure on behalf of the parliament. Therefore, he is responsible only to the parliament because CAG is an agent of the parliament, agent of the CAG is an agent of the parliament and conducts the audit of the expenditure on behalf of the parliament. He is responsible to the parliament and he is one of the bulwarks of the democracy system of the government, like Supreme Court, Election Commission, and UPS. These all are independent bodies. Like that, CAG also independent body who can examine the expenditures of the parliament, expenditure of the parliament. This is so. These are the powers. These are the powers and the role of the CAG. Is it right? Tell me, anyone, what is the article which is related to the computer and data journal? Computer and data journal. Anyone? Anyone from this class? What is the article of the computer and data journal? Computer and data journal. Okay, fine. Just we will see what are the comments on that CAG. Is it right? That is that is the Constitution of India visualized CAG is to be a computer and as well as the auditor journal. However, in practice, CAG is fulfilling the role of the auditor general only and not of the computer. And yeah, very good, Mr. Reha. Yes, that is a 148 and 149 is powers and functions and 150 is advice to the President of India. That's good. And just we will see that the comment because we have established this office to check the all the irregularities and technical errors and misappropriation of the funds and accounts of the government of India. Is it right? But there is not, even though he has a right to examine, to audit all this, just he's auditing, he's not doing any computer duty. And at the same time, Appleby is a one of the administrative thinker or a good administrator. He recommended that abolition of the CAG office. We provided as a constitutional body CAG, but Appleby recommendations, the administrative reforms in Appleby, with the recommendations of Appleby only, we have established that Indian Institute of Public Administration (IIPA). In his recommendations, he suggested to the government of India that is please abolish that CAG office. CAG office. The reason is he's doing only pedestrian functions. Pedestrian functions. That means just he's walking on that road on the footpath, and he's not doing. Just he's watching how that accounts or financial flow is goes to the going to the country. Just he's observing this, but he's not taking any actions on that. That's why he recommends to the government of India, please abolish that institution. Even though it is independent body, it is not acting as a independent. It is not acting as an independent. So Appleby recommends that he we have a necessity, and we have a uh, urgency to abolish of the CAT, computer at the general, because he's doing only pedestrian duties. That means maybe in examinations also, sometimes in the UPSC exams and the state government exams, wherever that is a descriptive type of exams, they will ask CAG is doing pedestrian duties. Comment on that. Is it right? So we have to examine what is the duties and powers we provided through the Constitution of India, and what it is a reality. In reality in reality CAG is acting like that independently or not. Is it right? That is also other point is also there. Other point is another comment. One is a negative comment, another was a positive comment. That is positive comment given by the Vinod Rai. He is a former computer and art general. He says that he says that it is the fifth pillar for the democracy. Fifth pillar for the democracy. And there is a four pillars for the democracy, that is placed with three branches of the government: legislature, executive, judiciary. The fourth pillar is journalism, that is a social media or a media. And the fifth pillar for the democracy, because he is the he is the only auditor. He is the head of the all the audits and accounts for the public money. Public money, whatever we generated through the taxes, the levies from the public or a citizen of this country, he is responsible to see or to look after. We should not misuse or misappropriation the public fund. Public fund. That's why he called it. He called it. It is the fifth pillar for the democracy. Whereas contradiction, Paul Appleby recommends and suggests that to abolish the CAG, because he is doing only pedestrian duties. And whereas Vinod Rai very contradictory, very pointed out that it is a fifth pillar duties. That means we need to see, we need to understand as well, that is how financial administration is important in a democracy. Is it right? So these are the comments we can see. One is a positive, another one is negative. So just I will summarize what are the points we have learned through this topic, that is computer and art general. It is a constitutional body. independent body. Article 148 provides an independent office for the Comptroller and Adjutant. He is the head of the Indian Audit and Accounts Department, and Kag is appointed by the President of India for the tenure of 6 years or up to the age of the 65 years. 65 years. At any time, he may leave or he may resign to the office, and he need to be addressed to the President of India only. And at the same time, there is a chance to remove from his office by President or through the special majority of the Parliament houses, which is applicable to the Supreme Court judge. Is it right? And on the grounds of the misbehavior or incapacity of his office, and at the same time we are meeting his salaries through the consolidated fund of India, and there is no chance to the to cut his salaries or going to the voting. Just we can discuss. And the duties and powers are, he is authorized the Parliament to provide the duties and the powers of the CAR related to the accounts of the union and the state and the UT government or any other institutions or any department audits. He may do by the request of the President of India or state governor. State governor. Is it right? And especially we are talking about the that local body funds also. Maybe after 73rd and 74, he has a right to audit all the things what we have provided to the local bodies by the request of the governor of that state. And at the same time, he submits his audit reports to the related to accounts of the center to the president and the state to the governor. And he may give that is through article 151. And at the same time, article 150 explains about the to give the advices related to the financial matters to the president. That is article 150. Can anyone tell what is the article? What is the article related to president? Supreme Court. Sometimes the President of India asks to the some suggestions or advice from the Supreme Court. Which article it deals with? Anyone have any idea? Anyone? Which articles? According according to which article the President can take advice from the Supreme Court? If you don't know, that is not a problem, but you can say no, sir. Anyone active in this class? Students? No one? Okay, fine. I'll tell. That is Article 143. According to the Article 143, yes, Article 143. Right. I don't know who is a KKR, but excellent. Good job. That is Article 143. According to the Article 143, President may ask some advice or a suggestion to the Supreme Court. What he has to do in laws and constitutional rules. Is it right? But whereas here 148 is the 150 is related to the advices to the president in the financial related matters. That is, and these are the powers and duties of the president. There is a independent body like Supreme Court and Election Commission. He has a right to involve in the legislature, that means parliamentary activities, and he's act as a guide and friend and philosopher for the Public Accounts Committee. And there is a two positive, two comments on the role of the major comments on role of the CAG. One is a negative one. All of he recommends that we need to abolish that office because they are not doing any real work. They are doing only pedestrian work, and many of them are knowing that that is a statement. Darini boye danaya antam kada. That is pedestrian duty. And at the same time, and one positive comment from the Vinod Rai, the former computer and general. It is the fifth pillar for the democracy. These all are the aspects. These are the aspects related to the related to the computer and auditor general. Computer and auditor general. And we will see another important commission, that is a finance commission of India. In this we will give very briefly uh, we will see the finance commission of India. That is according to article 280, the Constitution of India provides the Finance Commission as a quasi-judicial body. As a quasi-judicial body, that is Finance Commission, Article 280. Article 280. It is constituted by the President of India every 50th year or at such earlier time to be considered necessary. Every 5th year, that means for every 5 years, there is a Finance Commission. This was appointed or constituted by the President of India. President of India, remember it, Article 280. Article 280 is related to the Finance Commission. It is a quasi-judiciary body. That means the commission also having some judiciary powers. That is quasi-judiciary body. Is it right? So just we will see what is the composition of the Finance Commission. Finance Commission consists of a chairman and 4 other members. One chairman and 4 other members. That means total five members in that commission. In that commission appointed by the President of India. One is the chairman and 4 members appointed by the President of India. And at the same time, they hold office for such a period specified by the President in his order. President in his order. That means generally for 5 years terms, President. Otherwise, maybe less than 5 years also, he may appoint. He may appoint the members. That means there is no fixation of the tenure. Whereas if you see the Comptroller and Auditor General, there is a fixation of the period. Is it 6 years or up to 65 years or whatever, whichever is the earlier. But here there is no fixation of the tenure, but they may continue the whatever President give is in order. Is it right? They're eligible for the reappointment also. They are eligible for the reappointment also. Maybe for the computer can, it is may possible whenever he got the opportunities at the age of 50 years only. Otherwise, he may don't have chance to reappoint it. He may don't have chance to reappoint it. That is, the Constitution authorized the Parliament to determine the qualifications of the members of the Commission and the manner in which they should be elected. The Constitution authorized, that means Constitution gave powers to the Parliament to decide or determine the qualifications of the members, finance members. Is it right? And the Commission, and according the Parliament has specified qualifications of the chairman and the members of the Commission. Is it right? That means a judge of the High Court or qualified to be appointed as well. That is a person who has a specialized knowledge of a finance and accounts of the government. The first condition is he must that means he has to be complete, or he has been qualified as a judge of high court, that is, and a person who has specialized in the field of finance or accounts of the government, and at the same time a person who has wide experience in the financial matters and in administration. And at the same time another qualification also there, that is a person who has a special knowledge of the economies. That means completely whoever eligible to appoint as a high court judge and the financial related matters, accounts, economies, and all the accounts, he has knowledge in this field. He is eligible to appoint. He is eligible to appoint as a commission member, finance commission member, which are decided or determined by the parliament. Parliament. Is it right? So far we have learned only composition and what are the eligibilities of the Finance Commission members. The Article 280 describes about the uh, Finance Commission of India as a quasi-judicial body, and which is appointed by the President of India. The members or qualifications are decided by the Parliament. Maybe he have eligibility of the High Court judge and financial matters expert and knowledge in finance matters. He must be two. That is totally five members. One is chairman and other are four members. This is, and we will see what are the functions of the finance commission. The first and foremost thing is distribution of the net proceeds of the tax to be shared between the center and the state, and the allocation between the state of the respective shares such as proceeds. That means whatever the amount, whatever the money revenue we have in our country, it must be distributed to the center and the states, because our nature, our government of nature is a federal system. That means with the cooperation of the states, we are collecting, we are levying taxes from the public. So this amount should be shared between the center and the state. And at the same time, the principle that should govern the granting aids to the states by the center, that is out of the consolidated fund of India. If any time, if the states adjust or states are required to the center to give granting aid, some granting aids, then the principles on what basis we have to provide that a granting aid to the states, that finance commission may decide. They may draft that principles. Just remember it. Just remember what was happened when the time of Telangana Andhra Pradesh bifurcation it was happened in 2014. See that a special category for the Andhra Pradesh. It has mentioned in the Finance Commission with the principle whatever the principles are drafted by the Finance Commission. Still, it is not possible because of some principles and guidelines has prepared by the Finance Commission. We are not meeting the principles, so that it is not possible to the special category status. That means whatever the sharing points, just I gave example that one, but because that is a burning, that's why I gave example. Is it right? So whatever the points to share amounts or whatever the things granting aids or special granting aids, these principles may drop by the Finance Commission. Is it right? That is another function. And the measures needed to be the augment the consolidated fund of the state to supplement to the resource of the panchayats and the municipalities in the state, on the basis of the recommendations made by the state finance commissions. as well as like our in a federal system we have National Finance Commission and the State Finance Commissions also is there. In line with the state finance commission's recommendations, whether that funds or we are need to disburse or allocated or measures we have to take for the municipalities and panchayats. Is it right? See, is there any program? Is there any program nowadays? There is a many central sponsored schemes which you share with the 75 is to 25. That means 25 into 75. That share and everything, whatever the state finance commissions recommends to the center, they may examine, they measure whether it is whether it is rational or not. These all things, can decided by through the finance commission. And another one, other matters refers to it may be the president in the interest of the sound finance. That means if you want to make a sound finance administration, any other matters given by the or referred by the president of India, that finance commission may look all the things. That means that sharing points of the union state, and at the same time if any granting aids to provide to the states, and if there any state finance commissions recommend to the related to municipality and panchayati, and other one is president is refer to any matter for the sound financial administration in India, the Finance Commission will look after or perform the functions in these matters. In these matters, that is, and at the same time, even though the Finance Commission having the power to allocate the funds, to distribute the funds equally in the states, but these all are an advisory nature. It cannot control the government. It cannot interfere the day-to-day administration. Day-to-day administration. It can says as an advisory role. The Constitution of India says the Finance Commission as a balancing wheel of a physical federalism in India. Is it right? That is the essence. That is the spirit of the Constitution of India, to balance the wheels of the fiscal federalism in India. That means we need to balance both union and the state shares finance. We should not see some states as special, some states are not related to the union like that, because we are collecting taxes uh, from the state, if from the each state. Is it right? So we have to balance. Whenever we are balancing all these financial issues, then only can country develop like that. Is it right? Otherwise there is an imbalance between the some states and some other states. Is it right? So we have to see these all. After abolishing of the planning commission, that Niti Ayog is giving its importance to the finance commission and advising and a responsibility. It is right. Earlier there is a overlapping between the planning commission and the state finance commission, but after abolishing of the planning commission is a federal fiscal transaction, the new body called is Niti Ayog is look after the to share and giving advice to the finance. So these all are the issues. So only advisory role, advisory role. There is many contradictions in the finance commission also, because the members and some states are not satisfied with the allocation of the funds or sharing points. Is it right? Maybe we have states it is not possible to satisfy, and sometimes whatever the party is ruling it at the center, they are playing a key role. Wherever the states having power in same party, they are giving more funds, more finances to that states. That is also one of the political view. That means some states are not getting much funds. Is it right? So overall, this is the role of the finance commission to balance the center state shares in the financial matters. So these are the two important. One is a constitutional body, another one is a finance commission. We have to see in a financial administration what is the role and duties of these two committees through this session. Is it right? So these are the two important bodies in a financial administration. One is computer and CAG, computer and auditor general, and second one is finance commission. Remember it. Remember it is there is a constitutional body, and at the same time, finance commission also having the constitutional importance. That is a quasi judicial body. One is Article 148, and another one is 280. 280, and the members and the chairman, and what is the guidelines and what are the qualifications we have discussed, and powers and functions also discussed, and we covered it the comments on each two bodies. So this is the overall picture. Along with the parliamentary committees, we are controlling the financial related issues through legislature and independent body and commission as well. Is it right? So these are the things related to the financial control over the country. Is it right? So this is the information. This is the information regarding these two points. If you have any further clarifications or any doubts, you may. It's not possible to speak it. You can chart here. That's not a problem, because I don't have any choices or option to unmute you or anyone. If you have no doubts, please respond. If you don't have any doubts, I'll leave this session. No doubts. It's SCA, I think. Okay. Anyone, if you have still, if you have any, if you want clarity on any point, you may ask. Because both the two organizations are very important to understand how financial. Just you can read it that material. It may give good picture on that, and additional information also it may provided in that material. You can understand it as well. How, and at the same time we are learning these all things theoretically, but practically it is not implemented. That a contradiction we need to understand. What is the present situation through these institutions, and how political parties and political leaders are exercising these things. We need to understand. Then only we can get the clear pictures. Every time there is a contradiction, whatever the theory and the practical, and but we have to understand. We have to balance all these things. Is that right? Just you can go with the latest news also regarding the computer and finance commission. You may understand what the constitution is providing and what we are exercising in practical. That is a very good, very good, and I wish all of you the best of luck. And we will meet in next class. Maybe it is in next schedule. I think Thursday we will meet it. I think Friday we will meet it, and we'll go for the material management. Material management. Thank you. Thank you.